Welcome back to the New Hampshire Business Show. My name is Chris, and today we have Becky with Warrior Soul Healing Movement. Thanks for joining us on the show today, Becky.
Thank you.
Okay, so since it's Veterans Week, let's talk a little bit about your background. What brought us to where we are today?
Well, I'm a combat veteran. I started in the Navy. I wanted to advance my career in medicine. I have a background in all kinds of medicine, actually, and that quickly went to going to the Marine side. So turns out they had much bigger plans for me, and so that's where I went, and that brought me to deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan and Germany, which is where I got a lot of my surgical training. And so when I stopped the military, I opened up my studio here, and I have a background in both Eastern and Western medicine, so I do holistic health and wellness. So I have training in Reiki and intuitive development, yoga. I've been a yoga teacher forever, Pilates, nutrition, you name it. It's pretty much there. And so that's sort of what I do here.
Okay, that's awesome. So let's talk, you kind of mentioned what we do here. So let's talk about the Warrior Soul Healing Movement.
Yeah.
So what is it that we do here at your business?
So here it's sort of a one-stop healing. So everything I do is healing in nature. And I did that as partly a way to not only heal myself from different injuries that I had. I couldn't do a lot of traditional things like chiropractic care because of injuries with my back from just beating up my body, and I learned Thai yoga massage, which is a 90-minute massage that sort of heals the body from inside out. I learned Ayurveda medicine. I learned nutrition, all these things that I've sort of done my whole life. I just put them together in under one roof. And so here it's sort of holistic health and wellness from the inside out. So somebody that comes here can get clinical herbalism or nutrition or yoga or Reiki or you name it. If it's under the umbrella of holistic health and wellness, it's here. So everything's customized to the individual, and that's really where we excel here.
Okay. So we kind of talked about the 90-minute massage and everything. You mentioned Reiki. Can you explain that to everybody?
So Reiki is energy healing, and so energy helps facilitate the body's own natural healing process. So if people are having trouble with sleep or trying to quit smoking or trouble with anger, trouble with trying to lose weight or breaking habits, people with chronic diseases, problems with digestive disorders, or something as simple as just needing more energy or having chronic fatigue. Reiki really helps that. So energy sort of comes through. You lay the hands on, comes through me and goes into you. And people usually describe a feeling of more energy and wellness and kind of sort of an overall happier disposition. But I don't like to say it like that way, but it sounds like a little, but they do describe an overall happy, healthier wellness feeling is the best way that they usually describe it. It's when you're dealing with energy medicine, it's not Western medicine, so it's not, going to the doctor and getting a pill. It's using your own body to heal itself, and the body innately will always heal itself. This just speeds up the process.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
So we kind of got through Reiki and all that type of stuff. So what else do we handle? I know we do yoga and intuitive development. So let's talk a little bit about those.
So yes, so yoga, I do a lot with yoga, especially yoga for veterans. Typically, veterans, when we come home, it's one of the first things that is, sort of offered up to veterans. And we go to a yoga studio and we get lost. We get lost either because of our injuries or because of what's happening in our head, or we just can't keep up. And so I understand that completely. So I work with we do yoga for veterans, and along with that, I also branch into intuitive development and mediumship. It's something that I've sort of had those gifts my entire life, and it's very common nowadays for people to want to connect with not only their own intuition, which everybody is born with, but also connecting with loved ones and receiving confirmation and validation with their loved ones. So I'd like to say that we're completely holistic from sort of point A to Z, and sort of all of the sort of health and wellness services that we offer, not just for veterans, but for anybody that wants to call and make an appointment. Everything's customized and based on that individual. So there's nothing cookie cutter about what we do here. It's very sort of geared and targeted towards you, the person. So that's what makes it different. And I find that there's sort of a bond, as also being a combat veteran and having a lot of injuries myself, and understanding what that whole sort of rebuild your life process is like, that there is a bond and there is a trust factor that we have with one another that doesn't exist in other places. And it makes it a little bit easier to work together.
Okay, awesome. So where are we looking to take the business in the future? Do we have goals? Do we have any plans? I guess.
Yeah, so more of the same. I absolutely love what I do. Just bringing the awareness to people that there are so many alternative ways to feel better and either work with what's happening with them, or because it doesn't have to be one or the other, it can be both. And that there's so many alternatives to, struggling. That expression, there's beauty in the struggle. Well, I don't believe that. I don't think there is beauty in a struggle. I think that there doesn't have to be so much of a struggle all the time. You don't have to live with feeling awful. I don't think that you have to live with trying to, go against the grain all the time. I think that it's learning how to sort of live in the ebb and flow and sort of bring the grace into your life and raise it up, so you can actually feel like you're part of the life again and sort of be who you used to be. And I think that we lose who we are, and I think that that's important to get that back. And it takes so many people so long to get even a glimmer of that back, and I would like to show them that it doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. And until next time, guys. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.